First, thank you for inviting me. Turning out to you, you have done an excellent job. And coming from Sabah to Peninsula, it's a great effort. Yeah? Congratulations. Now you have gone to Bentuk. You see, how many villages you identified in Bentuk?
In Bentuk, one so far.
Only one. What product?
Ginger product, rice product, soya sauce, virgin soya sauce.
Virgin soya sauce.
Yes.
Why do you call virgin soya sauce?
That is that is the Alibaba team there. So they are the ones. So we brought them there. We brought them here. So we are supposed to learn from them.
Thank you. Right? Now, everywhere I go, people ask me why suddenly I'm interested in culture. Now, I hope I'm wrong to go into agriculture, but I think the future for Malaysia is agriculture. We've got plenty of land, the weather is suitable, we have a lot of youth unemployed, and the population keep on increasing, and they need food all the time. The forecast, by year 250, there are about 10 billion people, and you cannot expand land anymore, and yet you have to provide food for these people. So I see tremendous opportunity in agriculture, but it's got to be modern and precise agriculture, so that the cost can come down, productivity can go up, income also goes up. But so far, in the case of Malaysia, we have specialized in only commercial agriculture, rubber, palm oil, cocoa, before it was coconut. Now this subject to world prices, and again demand and supply. Whereas food, you need daily. You have to eat. That's important. And today there's huge unemployment, very unemployment in Malaysia. Now, the average age of a farmer today is about 50. Yeah? Because for the simple reason, all this while, the farmers, as far as the public is concerned, they see it as an occupation that does not bring any benefit. In most cases, they remain poor. Yeah? So there is no attraction to that industry. Now, with modern agriculture, technology, we must make sure that their income will be as good as a banker. Yeah? The moment they see that there's income, then it becomes very attractive. So now I hope people like you, young people, are doing all these things so that you will attract more youth to this sector. And I think the future is in this sector.
Thank you. I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned that most of the farmers in Malaysia, they are above the age of 50. Even my dad also, after he retired, he went into farming. There is a misconception that agriculture is for older generation. It's a very backward kind of industry. But besides monetary, like if they are paid the same as bankers, of course the younger generation will come in. But monetary perspective aside, why is it important for us to bring the younger generation to go into agriculture? And do you think it can be a viable career or business option for them at this point?
Sure. Our import bill today is more than 50 billion. And why should we be importing this when we can produce locally? Now, in Africa today, youth have gone into agriculture. Most of you. And 1 acre of land, they divide into 4 portions. They can make $1 million a year. USD. Yes, I think US is correct. Yeah? You see, in the case of Malaysia, if you have 2 acres of land, you can plant pineapple. If you can, 1 acre, if you can do 20,000 plants, So you get 40,000. Yeah. And per plant, we have one food, which we got 2 kg. And X farm, 250 per kg. So 1, 3, and 5 ringgit times 20,000, 100,000. Right? So 2 acres, 200,000. But in the shoot, they have about 8 shoots on average. You can sell on average between 120 to 2 ringgit. So assuming you sell at 150, you have to 8 and then 20 ringgit times 40,000.
That's about it.
Huh? So that's your income, you know.
That is
If you reduce the cost, you still make a lot of money. That's only one example.
You got it. So from here we can know that agriculture can be a viable option for the younger generation. And do you think the younger generation, especially the youth, can play a role to push this industry forward using their digital savviness?
It's up to them. You can't force anybody into it. In the end, you must show interest, show commitment, because only success will bring success. You know? If one can show success, the rest will follow.
And as all of us know, especially most of us here are from the retail business, the e-commerce industry has disrupted the way that we do business, the way we shop, the way we buy things online, even in the agriculture industry as well. I'm not sure whether you're familiar, but in China right now, people can actually rent trees, fruit trees, and to see them grow, pay additional money to water plants or put in additional fertilizer, and to watch them grow live, harvested, packed, and delivered direct to your house. So it's a farm to consumer model. Do you think this direct farm to consumer e-commerce model is a model that Malaysia should explore?
Yes. Okay. This is technology. We must accept technology as long as it benefits us. Technology will also disrupt a lot of things, but you must take it to advantage. That's very important. Now in Africa, again I mentioned Africa, they have cows. What they've done is they turn like Airbnb. The company has no cows, but you can own the cow. They'll manage for you, and they make profit for you. You just put your money, you invest, take point, you make money. Similarly here, they are introducing this already. In the case of some, I will mention fruit, you go and buy 150, rent 150, it's yours. They manage for you. At the end of the year, they make profit. So this is a new method of doing business in the country.
Yes, this is something interesting where you don't have to go through a middle person directly from farm. The farmers can actually sell or deal directly with the local businesses or franchise businesses. Like, for example, we have Luke Holding here, Brian Luke, who actually source for local agriculture product, incorporate into his business to promote like durian flavors into his teas and all. So these are some of the interesting things that the younger generation are doing. But unfortunately, most of the agriculture business right now are still run by the older generation. They may not know what they do not know in the digital age. What can be done to bridge the gap between the farmers who are generally the older generation and the youth who are digital savvy but not interested in it? How can we bridge that gap, in your opinion?
See, the old generation has got experience, but no technology. As I mentioned earlier, nobody wants to be a ready planter because there's so much subsidy. Subsidy means you don't make money. Every year the government put about 2 billion subsidy in the case of ready farming. And it's going to be a loss industry anyway. Yet because it's essential, the government has to continue to subsidize it. Modern technology has changed all this. With drones, sensor, all kind of cloud, everything. All these things will change. Now, the youth know this, but not the old generation. But, as Chancellor mentioned just now, we got the phone, we all are dead today. The phone plays a key role in our life now. More important than your wife. Yeah? True. We not leave home without a phone. You leave home with your wife. So then youth must go back and teach their parents. And see, this is the way to do farming. And you generate more income and you spend less time in the field, yet can relax more and make more money.
That is true. That is actually very true because even in Sabah itself, a lot of the parents' generation right now are trying to encourage their children to come back home. But it's very hard because the economic opportunities here in West Malaysia is still much stronger. Learning opportunities, business opportunity, even salary opportunities is much higher here in Semenanjung. So that's the reason why we're promoting our My Kampung campaign to make sure that people who stay in the rural area, Kampung area, have the necessary technology to sell globally and to promote their products so that they can earn more and so that the younger generation have more incentive to go back to the Kampung area. So that's what we try to do. One of the things that we notice in other countries is, like for example China, the Alibaba village model. They don't not only sell on e-commerce domestically, but they sell directly to a global audience using their Alibaba platform. But unfortunately in Malaysia, most of the exports are still being done by the bigger SMEs, the bigger corporation. Smaller SMEs, they account for less than 80% of exports, if I'm not mistaken, because only 18% of SMEs go into export. How can we, or what can be done to encourage more of the kampung people to be brave enough to export and promote their products globally, not just in Malaysia, but globally?
But it's name SME means small.
Small.
So you don't expect them to expand. I have gone to almost all the states, met all the SMEs. In most cases, rural people treat business as a hobby. You cannot treat it as a hobby. Business is about making money. Okay? So they're not prepared to expand. Have you gone all over the state? Have you gone? Sorry? Have you gone all over the state?
No, not yet.
As I mentioned, they have gone to almost all the states. To them, SME is not business. As I mentioned, it's a hobby. And they have no idea what cash flow is. You cannot do business without cash flow. No bank will lend unless you have cash flow. You need a forecast for at least minimum 3 years. Otherwise, the bank say, no, this is not business. This is hobby. Go. Now, I have talked to Montreal, to help them. And Montreal has gone all over the state. But again, the problem is there's poor management. They have the talent. They don't know how to manage. They do not understand money. In business, money is important. The whole idea going to this business is to make profit. To them, no. To them, just to be occupied. That's it. So that's where, when you go out this time to all my Kampung, we are in business to make money. Create employment. Expand. And the quality must be maintained. Okay? That's very important.
Changing your mindset.
Change mindset.
It's very interesting that you mentioned about like Matre and the government agency. They have existing programs to empower people, but you say the mindset hasn't changed yet. So what can we do differently? I mean, this is off topic a bit. Let's say if we want to do our roadshow again, how can we do it differently? Should we still target the parents' generation, or should we target the younger generation, the children instead?
Now, at present, as you mentioned, the younger generation, they do not want to go back. I have visited, as I mentioned, your monastery. I asked them to mechanize. They say no need. Even now, I'm quite happy. I'm contented with what I have. Why do I? If I do well, income tax will come. I don't want income tax to come and disturb me. So I say, okay, suppose we mechanize, untouched. Will your son do it? Maybe. I said, when your son sees, you don't have to be active every day mechanize. You can call only monitor through the food, it comes. Then doesn't matter income tax comes because we want everyone to get rich. The whole idea of the business is to make money. And when income tax comes and see who means you are successful. So don't run away from example. So we have to go back and educate.
Thanks for that, Pin. That's our goal as well in my company. We want to use digital technology and e-commerce to target the younger generation, to show them the opportunities in agriculture. That's the whole idea of this forum session, to see how we can blend technology and agriculture together with business and export to the global market. Talking about exporting, we actually have the reason why we started this program is because of to promote Malaysian products in Japan for Tokyo Olympics 2020, where the Japanese government is aiming for the Olympics Games to be halal friendly. So what are your advice for local players here to take advantage of global events such as the Olympics to market their products globally?
Before I answer that, we have gone to Philippines, we have gone to South Africa, we have gone to Thailand. Why did you go to South Africa?
South Africa was more because my friend was there. So he was mentioning about some volunteering campaigns that he was doing, refugees and all, because of the war-torn areas, so like Uganda, more for volunteering campaign.
Oh, that's all.
Now,
Not SME.
not SME. That time, that's why in our earlier slide we talked about my background was mostly charity and NGOs. Then after that we realized there's actually a limitation to NGOs. That's why we felt SMEs are still the future, not the NGOs. So that's why we decided to change our focus to social enterprise targeting SMEs.
Okay, thank you. It's a says here from Japan, the minister is the problem in Malaysia, Olympic is coming now. This year. Everybody prepared this 4 years ago. We want to do last minute. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We should have prepared it a long time ago. If you are market, all the booths have been taken. You cannot just go in now. No. Okay, we have been doing business in Japan. Halal alone is about 2 billion a year. We should know the market. So we still wait until the last minute. Now only you want to say, hey, we want to go. It's too late. Time is important. No? Time doesn't wait for you. Money doesn't wait for you. You have to change all these things. But you cannot wait last minute and say, hey, I'm a Malaysian, give me priority. No. Everybody is going there. So now I think it's a bit too late. I don't know how to do it, but fortunately, the man in charge of the Olympic in Tokyo, advisor to the Prime Minister, is an old friend of mine. Okay? Last week he came to see me. I've known him a long time. He said, look, I am in charge of Olympic now, blah, blah, blah. I said, what can you do to help? He said, maybe a bit too late. Understand? You have to plan. And in life, you have to plan.
Okay, probably I didn't phrase my question properly. It's basically not just for Olympics, but global events in general. So we want them to come on board right now, mainly because there's that global publicity about Olympics. But the next one that we are preparing the Kampung brand is actually for the World Expo in Osaka in 2025.
Okay.
So we got them on board here by using the Olympics fame to get them interested. We want to start to get them prepared for World Expo 2025. That's why when I went to meet with Dr. Wan Latif a few weeks ago, he mentioned that a lot of the SMEs right now, we are not export ready, but we have to get them started somewhere. So if you don't start now, then when? So that's why we use this campaign as a soft launch to slowly get them interested so that we can push them to the next bigger event. So that's the whole idea of what we're trying to do.
Now, if you plan from now, the chances are you get because the Japanese, the taste is different. What they eat is different from what we eat. You must make sure they come here, or you call to them and say, please taste the food. That they're expert, and they will tell you. So there's one company in Kampung where they went to train in Japan. The Japanese came here and certified that the Japanese will accept it. But unfortunately, Jakin went to Japan. And one day become slow. Can you certified. Our product, daging will certified. So bila orang pakai, daging must not work as certified foreigner. They must certify local product for our benefit because the halal certificate in Malaysia has got premium value. Don't give away. And now, of course, the dollar has lost. Okay. So now, I think market will advise. I think only certify local product for export. Unless you are to import, that's important. Then they can certify. So we import it. Got it? Yeah? Okay.
Understand. Thank you so much, Dr. Daim, for your advice. And what I really like about dealing with your office is that from the very beginning, Dr. Daim's team has said that he wants it to be a very conversational session. So we would like to open up to the floor. If you have any questions, feel free to ask because Dr. Daim actually just wants to have a conversation with the audience, with the crowd. So feel free to ask any question. If you have, we can probably take about 1 or 2 questions.